Yay, all right, so we had some technical difficulties, and for some reason, the universe took us off Facebook Live, and so we're just gonna start again from the beginning as if we went back in time and we are time travelers, which I believe to be true. So welcome to What the F is Happening with me. I'm Taraleigh and Reed Mathis, and today we are joined by special guest Brock Butler, and we're so excited to get to hear about what the F is happening for them, which we will get to in a second. But first, we're going to do a little grounding exercise. So if you're riding a unicorn or on a roller coaster or whatever your situation is, don't do this. But if it's available to you, place your hands on your heart and feel the beating in your chest. And take a deep breath in and out. And a deep breath in and out. And a deep breath in and out. Welcome back into your meat suit that is on a ball of dirt hurling through space. What the F? So I just want to thank the people that are responsible for sharing this. Blooming Footprint, the amazing marketing and PR people, Live for Live Music, and Busking Down the House. And everybody, if you're watching this somewhere else and not on the Busking Down the House group, make sure you head over to the group, because the last 15 minutes we are going to open up the green room, and you can ask Reed or Brock or me any questions that you have. So there'll be a link in the comments there, so make sure you head over to that group. So if you were watching before, you already heard this, but I pulled a card from my Affirmators deck, and I have to wear my spectacles because of my vision, because I'm so old now, almost 43. And the card is Courage. No one is fearless, no one. But even though I'm not fearless, I am courageous. When fear shows up, I don't run away from it. I use my courage to conquer it. My courage allows me to walk right up to the fear and kick it in the nuts, and then quickly hide behind someone bigger until it goes away. I feel like that is very relevant right now. So I hope everybody feels very courageous. And now I'm going to unmute my host. It's weird that I have the power to mute and unmute people. I don't like it. But I'm going to unmute Reed and Brock. Hey, guys.
Hello,
hey.
Hello.
Yay.
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, Brock?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, honestly, I'm doing incredible. I'm really thriving. I'm really thriving, actually. I feel like I didn't realize how overwhelmed and overstimulated I was living and just tolerating an amount of stimuli socially, visually, just in every way, until it's like you remove all that, and I'm living this lifestyle where I can really just focus on music and focus on health and focus on, I don't know, it's just been incredible to have my life just reduced to a really simple, small amount of life, you know? It feels really good to me. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Going again?
Yes, I know it's not live again, and I don't know why.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
But we are recording this, and so I feel like we should just go, and then we'll share the whole thing after.
Sure.
That works.
Okay.
I mean,
Um,
it's essentially the same thing anyway, at least for.
yeah. Oh no! And then oh, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that technology is being really interesting right now, and I guess that's because like we're so many more people are on it all the time, right?
I've wondered about that too. Like, is that, I don't really understand how that shit works. Like, if my internet's slow, does that mean that other computers close to mine are overactive? Or I feel like a moron. I don't really understand how that shit works.
It's
Like, is there,
so far what I've been getting and doing, like, both like doing acoustic streams from just my phone in the room, but then trying to do multi-panel calls with Perpetual Groove, get multiple participants. The amount of variables that get involved with it, like the first one we did was comically not technically sound. Like, I think Adam's lag was almost a minute behind us, and when it comes to timing for comedy and banter and stuff like that,
no, yeah.
it became its own. We worked with it. It became its own punchline. But I don't know anything about it either, Reed.
Yeah, whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
So like what's, I don't know, it's been really interesting talking to like bandmates and managers, and everybody is adapting quickly in real time, and it's been a fascinating process. I'm on like email chains, people are debating whether to announce. There's like some venues that are like, hey, we want to announce your shows in June, and it's like, are we going to Chicago in June? Is this really, come on,
Yeah.
guys. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I've had a similar experience where it's like so many people obviously are hopeful that certain things will happen, or well, we're not going to reschedule or postpone those yet. We're just do it up to here, and then the question is still, do you really think that these particular dates in that window of time have a snowball's chance in hell of actually happening?
well, yeah, and it's like, what are we going to do? Are we going to be 6 feet from each other in the venue? Are we all going to wear masks? Like, how are they possibly going to make money if they're keeping the capacity, if they're not filling the room? Like, it's like, is anybody thinking this through? And then somebody will inevitably say, well, how about we announce it and we can cancel it if it gets closer and it's not happening? But I'm like, won't we look like assholes for even announcing that we're doing this? Like,
I think it's an important thing to be aware of, that even by promoting future dates, it's kind of, you're hinting at a message that if someone else might start to think like, oh, well, all these shows are coming back, it might directly affect how people, how serious they take their social distancing protocols. They might start to be, it might actually add into a snowball of people getting into a false sense
right?
of
Yeah,
complacency.
Totally. Plus,
I mean,
honestly, I feel like promoting this is just not an appropriate time to promote anything. Honestly, I've been doing live streaming and stuff, but I've just been offering it. I feel like this is an inappropriate time to even be like.
Yeah, I've
You know
watched.
what I mean?
I do.
Oh yeah.
I do. Oh yeah. I'm always checking it out, Reed.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
speaking of like the live streams, what has been some of your favorite ones that you've caught, and like what have you seen that you maybe wouldn't have seen if this wasn't happening because you wouldn't have access to be able to see that person?
Oh man, yesterday I saw Mike Gordon interview Robert Walter on Instagram Live. They were both at their piano, and they were talking about the history of like New Orleans stride piano and like James Booker and Fats Domino, and I could not fucking believe my eyes, because Gordon could play the shit on the piano, like the greasy ass James Booker two hands independent.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Where is he? Like, oh my God, I couldn't fucking believe it. I texted
never-
Robert about it, and he was like, yeah, he can play. He can play.
Yeah, I've heard him play before at this place, Parima in Burlington, like years ago. And
Uh-huh.
Surprise Me, Mr. Davis was playing, I believe.
Oh boy, that's one of my
Greatest band
favorites.
of all time.
Yeah.
He was playing, and him and Marco were both playing, like, or maybe it was Bustle, the Hedgerow. I can't remember exactly who it was. Anyway, Mike Gordon and Marco were sitting at the piano and playing together, and then one of the servers from Parima was like singing, and they were doing like Whitney Houston songs and blues songs, and it was like one of the coolest moments of my life.
Wow, dude. Oh my God, that sounds so fun. I mean, you say Whitney Houston songs. Was there anything besides I Want to Dance with Somebody, or was that the, like...
No, I
Maybe
can't
more-
even remember. It was one of the slow ballads somehow, but they made it.
Oh, I Will Always Love You? Oh, yeah. Will always love... Which is actually a Dolly Parton song.
Yep.
Wow, that's true. Yeah, she wrote a lot of hits that you didn't know about.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so sorry. Your question, like, what streams have I caught? That was cool. And yesterday, Tea Leaf Green, a band I used to be in, released a record and live streamed it. And the chat, not only was the record dope, and I've been willfully telling them, like, D-Bar will be like, yo, you want to hear, over the last 6 months, he's like, you want to hear a little bit of the record? And I'm like, no. I want to hear the final. I want to hear the released record.
Yeah.
So yesterday I heard it, and the chat was going off, and I was just like, this is like hanging at a venue. This is completely, like, it was just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful to see the music community in a way unaffected on a level, you know? What about you, Brock? What have you seen?
Let's see. I mean, I've seen some of yours. And those were enjoyable. And I caught Tycho on 420. He did something on the Weed Maps channel. And
No way.
It wasn't too long. I think it was about, maybe 20, 25 minutes. But it's kind of neat to see some of these artists in their, respective bedrooms to a certain degree. Not all
Totally.
done up. So watching him, and he was going through some of his effects and stuff. That one was really cool. And I've actually rather enjoyed as much, like, when it comes to, say, like, busking down the house in particular, that some people that are performing are people I know that's been their main gig. It's like these are out of work touring people comparable to yourself and myself, Rita. But then I've also seen a lot of folks that maybe they might not have really thought to stream. Like, people are wanting to contribute even if it's not. So I'm seeing all sorts of neat people that I've never heard of from different smaller circles and regions.
Yeah,
of
like
the country.
the Middle Ages. Do you know what? we never thought of streaming ever, and we streamed twice so far, and we're going to be at Busking Down the House Sunday at 9 p.m. to do a whole set.
Right,
Wait.
and that's awesome.
Wait. What are you? Tell me about the Middle Ages. What's going on?
Oh yeah, so it's Dan and I's rap duo, and we're doing an acoustic rap set of almost all originals, and it's going to be at 9 on Sunday on Busking Down the House, and that's like something that would never happened.
Right, and I'm for one, I'm really glad that it is, and I love the name too.
Yeah.
So that leads me to a question, which is, are you guys like, when somebody announces, hey, Friday at 6, I'm going to fucking do my thing, are you guys keeping a calendar of this? I've just started doing that in the last week. Like, when I see an announcement, I put it in my calendar.
Yeah, I've been really lucky in the sense of that. Oh, and like and when I'm participating in ones, that I always end up going down the rabbit hole too. So on the live from out there on Sunday, they're doing a whole lineup of Garcia Hunter tunes.
Oh, wow.
And
Awesome.
Individual submissions from different people, so I've got one in there, and then in
What did you sing? Can you tell us?
what's that?
What did
Which
you sing?
song?
Can you tell us? Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, don't.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, don't.
But I'm happy with it. I had a really good time making it. It's not
Awesome.
one that I've done before.
So were you able to like do a couple of takes, maybe adjust the sound, maybe
Oh yeah,
master it a
yeah,
little bit?
and they have some mastering done on their end too. So each of the when they watch this lineup of different submissions, that in general it'll be mastered and balanced, so people aren't chasing it all around. And
So what software are you using for that?
I just used GarageBand and this little USB PreSonus audio box that I have, and I kept it pretty simple. When I do my
GarageBand has video?
No, what I did was I put my iPhone up and then just did a little like that, and then so I recorded, did the take to GarageBand, and then married the two after the fact.
And you didn't have any syncing problems? Because when I try to upload stuff in iMovie, the audio ends up being a different fucking length, which I thought the whole point of digital was that wouldn't happen. But
no, and maybe it's having some experience with film from Savannah College of Art and Design or something. I don't know, but
I didn't know you went to Savannah College of Art and Design. That's awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
Man, the guitar player from Jacob Fred, from the original Jacob Fred lineup in the '90s, teaches there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he teaches like graphic novel stuff.
Oh, it's sequential arts. Yeah.
Yeah, the sequential arts.
Yeah, and that Adam, the bassist in P Groove, Perry, and I, we both initially went to SCAD for sequential arts, and then we switched over to video, film, and sound design because there's more. I don't think anybody
for the girls. You did it for the girls, I'm sure. For more girls in video.
For the ladies.
Dude, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so having just some of that skill set, like, just even doing the thing at the beginning so I could sync it up and then trim it down. And obviously the longer a video you take, the more opportunity you have for it to get slightly off. But this was, since it was just one individual song at about 7 minutes, it all synced up well, I hope, anyway. I guess we'll find out on Sunday.
Dope. I mean, you must feel so glad that you've done so much touring as a solo artist in the last, 8 years or whatever, because your chops must be so high for this medium,
Yeah, and I think I said that maybe on take one before this first. Is that it turns out I'm really well suited to just playing my acoustic with my loop pedals from home.
Yeah,
essentially. Waiting for this moment all my life.
That's so funny. I've been hearing this from a lot of people. They're like, I've been preparing for this moment my whole life. Some people are definitely freaking out and they're like, what the? And then other people are like, I have never been more at peace, and I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. And so many creative things are happening, and figuring out different technologies and ways to be able to share, and different projects. And Reed was telling me about it, something that I know that we can't share right now, but it's super exciting that came out of this. And so I'm super excited. But Brock, do you want to play us a song?
Sure, I'll play a song.
Yay! And last week we learned the term music humping, I think it was called. Matt Butler, while Reed was playing, Matt Butler put himself on mute and was playing drums along. And he said that he does that with a lot of the streams and that he calls it music humping. So Reed is likely going to music hump you. And if anybody who's watching, they can music hump as well.
Oh, that's actually that idea makes a lot of sense, really. It's because, if I'm doing just a straight acoustic thing, if someone's wanting to fill up all the other parts that aren't there, why not? Music humping. Oh, cousin Matt Butler. Cousin Matt. You got anything you want to hear, Mrs. Weathers?
Oh my gosh. There's that one of the Perpetual Groove songs is my favorite one, and now I can't think. It's a very popular one, I would say. Is it something about time? You talk about the phone ringing.
Okay. Well, I'll play some Perpetual Groove for you.
Okay.
It might not have a phone ringing line, but maybe hopefully it'll do it. Thought I finally had it. Now I'm not so sure. Straw that finally snapped in. Then I found two more. Sure we'll have our trouble. For now, just leave on by the door. For now, forget your bad times. Don't you worry anymore. Won't reject the stolen. Just use it to climb. I keep on moving on now. I won't look behind. Sure we'll have our trouble. For now, just leave on by the door. For now, forget you worry. Don't you worry
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So much fun.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh, and the song I was thinking of was 3 weeks.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so the next part is where I'm going to ask you both 5 ridiculous questions, and you just have to answer them.
Okay.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
And in about 10 minutes, people are going to be joining this meeting, and they are going to be able to ask you questions. Since we can't be live on Facebook, they're sharing the link, so they'll still be able to join the green room.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we figured out a way. Okay, so you ready?
Sure.
All right.
Hit it.
Both have to answer. Reed, you'll go first, and then Brock. So, Reed, who would play you in a movie?
Oh, wow. I mean, you got to balance the appearance with the manner, right? So, Fuck. All I can think about is Kate Blanchett playing Bob Dylan and how fucking amazing that was. Dang. Wow, I don't even know who would play me. Is this something many people have thought about and decided, assuming they will one day be asked this question?
I don't know. But Brock, do you know who would play Reed in a movie?
Reed? Oh, see, you switched it on me. I thought
Can
myself.
Can I see Jason Bateman? I'm going to go with Jason Bateman.
Okay, Jason Bateman. Okay, so now that he knows, Brock, you could answer for yourself of who would play you in a movie.
I don't know the actor's name, but to piggyback off Jason Bateman, you know the first season of Ozark, that dude with the big red beard, the informant? No? Ozark season one? No?
No.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. They murder people, and I'm scared of shows where people
my go-to answer used to be Philip Seymour Hoffman, but that would be difficult. The dude from Game of Thrones. the red bearded northern guy. I don't know any of the actors' names, but that guy.
What about you, Taraleigh? Who's going to play Taraleigh?
So I think probably the little girl from Party of Five. I forget her name, Lacey Chabert, I think her name is. But I don't really look like her as much now. But when she was like a little kid, she looks like how I look now. So if she had a time travel, I could go back to a little kid and then play me as a little kid, I guess. Or Sarah Silverman, people say a lot too.
Oh.
My maiden name is Tara Silberberg, so it's really interesting. I know, we need to be friends. But maybe she would play me in a movie. Okay, next question. When you die, what items would you like to use, or what would, sorry, let me rephrase that. When you die, what items would you like to have with you so you could use them in the afterlife? You're going to take it so you could use it in the afterlife.
Either this guitar or my Fender jazz bass. Yep.
Yeah, Brock, what would you bring?
I guess, I mean, the obvious answer is a guitar of some sort. Which one? I said, I don't know. As far as desert island scenarios go, this Martin has really, I've bonded with it. I'll take this Martin.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
I guess I would bring like a boombox and like all the CDs that ever existed. So I can
see, and that you mentioned this question. I'm sure you've seen some variation of it. Like, what 10 albums could you take to a desert island scenario kind of thing? I always am wondering, is like, if I'm allowed to bring my guitar, that's going to greatly determine which albums I'll take. Maybe there's a few that I wouldn't take to the desert island if I can just count on being able to play some of it myself. I don't know.
Yeah, that's smart, actually. That's really smart.
I'm always looking for loopholes.
Yeah. Okay, next question. And Reed, you can go first. What mythical creature do you wish actually existed?
Pegasus. No question. No question. Pegasus. Flying on a horse? Are you kidding me? That would be absolute bliss. Absolute fucking bliss.
Yeah. What about you, Brad?
That's a really good answer, Reed. They're trying to, like, I don't know. Not dragons, I guess. I don't know. It depends on what kind of dragon we're talking about. It's like I don't know. It's a tough one. You stumped me.
Yeah, so I guess your answer is some sort of dragon, but maybe.
Sure, yeah. The nice kind. There must be some.
Like problematic dragon?
There you go. Yeah, if he's popular in mythology. Yes, Puff the Magic Dragon is who I would love. Yes.
The ancient mythology of 1970s.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Hey, you son of a bitch. I'm in.
Yes, I'm going to have to go go with the Pegasus too. You would think I would say unicorn, but they can't fly. So, although I guess they could ride on rainbows. Maybe a Pegasus unicorn if they got together and made a baby, and then that existed. I would go with that.
What do you call a unicorn with wings? Like, because that's
It's
a
a
thing.
Pegasus. That's a Pegasus, right?
But
No,
then
a Pegasus doesn't have a horn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, this one.
A Unisys?
It has
Right. So what is that? What is that?
I don't know.
That's a
What
pegacorn.
Yeah, Pegacorn. A Pegacorn, the old Unisys.
What are you? What are you?
Yes.
She doesn't talk.
Oh, bummer.
I know. Maybe if I take a lot of psychedelics, she'll talk to me. Okay. Next question. If someone narrated your life, who would you want to be the narrator?
Oh man, Bob Dylan. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bob Dylan, Robert Zimmerman. Answer.
Donald Sutherland.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland from what movie though?
I was thinking of the Florida orange juice commercials.
I didn't even know what that is.
It's true. He makes it sound so relaxing. You know?
Right. That would be a good way to have your life story told.
Yeah, just like, yeah, we harvest these oranges, fruity and delicious and calm. The story of Brock Butler.
I love it.
That's so good.
What about you?
I'm gonna go with Matthew McConaughey just because I could listen to his voice like all day, all the time. So if someone's gonna narrate it, I want someone I want to listen to.
Can I change mine to James Spader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I mean yours is really good, so I don't know.
It was pretty great.
But we'll allow it this time.
Okay.
Okay. So last question is, what are you interested in that most people aren't?
Me? I would say I mean my relationship to history, like music history and like Civil War and shit like that, is bordering on ridiculous, and has been for a very long time. And anybody that's ever been in a band with me, been on the road with me, been, lived with me, will, if you were to ask them, what do people that know Reed as a musician don't not know about him, that would be the answer. That, like, music is actually my hobby next to my obsession with history. So, yeah.
And Civil War specifically?
I had a decade of reading about the Civil War every day.
Sure.
That was a while back. But yeah.
I grew up near Fredericksburg, Virginia. So
Yeah, dude.
I know that's that.
Yeah, they found a bunch of bodies in a basement in Fredericksburg 2 years ago.
Did they really?
Yeah, it was a bunch of people that were hiding in a basement during a bombardment, and something exploded in the basement.
Crazy.
And then as they were gutting this house and getting ready to build a new building there, they found 12 bodies that had clearly all been next to an explosion during the siege of Fredericksburg in November 1862.
Yeah.
But who's counting?
One of the bloodiest battles, they say.
Right, that's the battle where they saw the Northern Lights. Yeah. That was during the night the Northern Lights were seen in Virginia. It was the farthest south the Northern Lights had ever been seen.
Nice.
Something like that.
What about you, Brock?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the topic, and I only realize that people don't share my interest until I've already geeked out and gone too far into it. So it could be anything. But how movies are made, and trivia, not just as far as like geek Star Wars and Marvel, but in general. Like I love documentaries on film and the music in film. Reed, if you haven't seen the documentary called Score,
Score?
yeah, I think
Okay.
it deals with Hans Zimmer, John Williams.
Oh
all the
shit! Oh my fucking god! Yes!
You can thank me later. I've watched it about 5 times. It's wonderful.
Damn! Hell yeah!
But
I'm
yeah,
gonna watch with Jay Lane.
basically, I'm a special features just kind of geek. I love watching the documentaries and the special feature kind of stuff as much as the movies themselves. And sometimes I'll go back and forth because it ups it, like rewatch. It's like, oh yeah, that's how they did that. That was awesome. So I don't know if that's going to really come as shocking news to anybody, but I'm a very geeky film enthusiast.
That makes sense.
I'm so surprised.
But I didn't know that. I didn't fucking know that. I've been
And
I've been benevolent acquaintances with you for a long time, and I didn't know that. So it's awesome.
Yay. We have some people that are starting to join the room. And so the rule is if you want to ask a question to anyone, you can just jazz hands it and I'll see, and then I'll unmute your line. And then you can ask either of them a question. Does anyone have a question right now? Not yet. Okay. Brock, do you want to play a song and then maybe people can think about what their questions are?
Sure.
All right. Yay. I'm so excited. Your voice and your guitar playing, everything is so beautiful. And just like, you're one of those voices that just like gets in my soul and gives me goosebumps all over.
You're very kind. You always have been. I appreciate the compliment, though. That would be my hopes that it would have that kind of effect. Time keeps you from right on time. I know you're gonna go fly down Mexico. Darling, here I am, young boy in New York. Young boy in New York. I get the news I need on the weather report. Yeah, get all the news I need on the weather report. Hey, I got nothing to do today. Smile, darling, here I am. The only boy in New York. Half of the time we're gone and we don't know the way. Oh. I know. Hey, let your honesty shine, 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 shine like it shines on me. The only boy in New York. The only boy in New York. makes your train right on time.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, I love that song. I love that song so
And
much.
I have
Amazing.
everybody so they could all cheer really loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that's missing in things nowadays because there's no audience.
Yeah, I've
That was
found that I'm doing it myself.
Yeah.
In between, I just be like,
Yeah, I feel like my inner audience is giving me a standing ovation.
well, yeah, I guess, and for the pace of streaming a show too, it just like there's a natural kind of like rhythm to it, like it's just kind of. So even if I do it tongue in cheek.
Yeah. So does anybody that's in the green room right now have a question for anyone or a reflection or anything, and you can jazz hands, and then I could see that. Ah, Greg, yay! All right, hold on, I'll unmute you. All right.
Hey guys. Hey, Brock, I always wanted to thank you personally again for the Bowery Ballroom that time when you went and got my band Buzz Universe a special long set as the opener. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I
back in the
do.
day.
I do.
Just that always stood out to me as one of those pay it forward moments that I'll never forget. That's,
Yeah, brother.
I think about it every time I see you on Busking in the House. Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm great, man. I have a residency on there. I'm every Monday night at 8:00. So
Right.
it's
Right.
been really cool.
Yeah, it's great fun, man. I love it.
I can also say how it is really strange when you just like rock your heart out on a song and you're going crazy and then it's just silence. But then you see the
Yeah.
little hearts and you're like,
Oh yeah,
yes.
it's definitely there. Like I when I'm doing my streams, I don't know if you're doing, like I've tried it both ways, but I find that ultimately if I'm not looking at questions floating by, it's like it's once I'm confident the stream is good,
Mhm.
then I like to kind of set it and forget it, and then
Yeah, I
I'll
never see anything because I have a tiny little iPhone and I have it perched really high in my kitchen so I can see little hearts in the distance.
Yeah, little
Oh,
hearts in the
that's
distance. I
good
love
news.
it, dude.
That's good news because I am a crazy hearter. I'm like hearting everything all the time. So that's good that you can all see that because I wasn't sure.
Yeah, the other thing is like a lot of my songs are sing-along, so I just decided to stop doing background vocals completely, and I say this to the people, and a lot of them are starting to post the words when the big lines come up on the songs, like the ba-da-da-das and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'll like look at the camera like, a little bit of that, but I don't know. You can just feel it. You can feel the energy through it. It's such a strange time. It's like a weird silver lining. I'm actually finding a wider audience than I have in the past, because I play a lot of open mics. I got my little Jersey City band, but it's such a blessing the way this is happening right now. It's amazing. It's really magical. Yeah. Yeah, but there's only 6 of us on here. Yeah.
Greg, I just want to tell you something really quick is that Joel, who's on here, he wrote something in the chat and he said that he was at that show and it was the only time seeing Buzz Universe and y'all blew him away.
Oh, no way. That's amazing. God. Yeah. Well, tune in on Mondays. Yeah. I'm always checking out like everyone on busking, it's just so much fun to just check out all these different artists. It's so cool. Thank you, Joel.
They created such an amazing thing by doing the busking down the house because it's like if you were saying like Brock has been there a lot and there's like a lot of musicians that it's their full-time thing, but then other people who are like, and you too, Greg, and then there's people like me and Dan that were like it's inspiring us to stream. And it actually, Dan had played the guitar, he hadn't picked it up in forever, and then he picked up the guitar so he could learn how to like make music so we can practice together because we don't have beats yet, and now we have music to all of our songs, and that wouldn't happen without places like Busking Down the House, and there's a Vermont virtual open mic, and it's pretty cool.
I was so nervous the first night, and every night just gets a little easier, and it's great to get so many people from around the country too, California, Kentucky. It's really cool. Yeah.
Great.
Thank all you guys. Reed too. Amazing.
And Paul, did you want to share something?
Yes, hello. Just
Hi.
wanted to thank the artists for playing their hearts out. Brock's on there twice a week, and I was catching Reed in the beginning when Trey would like do a song and then you'd learn it like real quick and like play it that night, which was just awesome. The exchange of energy from one coast to another and play stuff. So it's just been a blast. No real questions to ask, but just been enjoying the sets, and thanks for everyone entertaining.
Where are you?
I'm in
Where
Southern
are you?
California. I'm right outside of Los Angeles, but I'm from New Jersey originally, so I've seen
Okay.
all you guys a bunch of times. So
What's the vibe like in your neighborhood?
the neighborhood is I'm a block away from the beach, so like the main drag, the boardwalk, if you will, is closed. So the street I'm on has become like the new main drag. My neighbors, they got a little like home gym set up in their garage, so they're out lifting in the street, which is always fun. So there's that, but like every night at sunset, so around like 7:30, everyone cruises down to like, you know, you can't go to the beach, but you go to as far as you can go and kind of go. And some people have masks, some don't. But if you're in a store, you wear a mask. If not, you know, it's business as you know, just whatever.
Huh.
But
Cool.
everyone, it's just a very active, like running, biking type community. People walking their dogs, so. You know, if I had a dog, I'd be out walking more. So I kind of wish I invested in one of those. So you have an excuse to go outside if you have a dog. So
Yeah, you can go outside and walk an imaginary dog.
yes, absolutely. Earlier on in this thing, friends of mine had made hand sanitizer and needed it brought to Utah. So like I had 2 weekends where I got to drive to like Zion National Park pretty much with hand sanitizer. So I've had some little excursions for the right reasons. So
Wow, that's unique. That's cool.
yeah, I was like, I felt like a moonshiner, like a bootlegger.
Totally.
You know?
Dodging the
And then-
feds.
Yeah, wearing a bandana around my face. It's all
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's terrific.
I felt like I was a smuggler because when I was in Costa Rica until like the end of March, and I came back and they had hand sanitizer there, so I had like a huge bottle of it in my suitcase, and I like felt like, oh, I'm smuggling things in here.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right on, bro.
All right. Thank you. So it's actually might be 5. It's 2 minutes to 5, and we end at 5. So Brock and Reed, do you have any last words that you'd like to share, or like any little pieces of inspiration that you can share for people? Because this is a really hard time, but also like we were talking about, there's so many beautiful things. So what's something you can say to like uplift somebody or inspire them?
Well, let's see. I mean, I acknowledge that everybody's circumstances can be different as far as, you know, when I've Skyped or FaceTimed with people and they were like, oh, you're outside? You can go outside. Some people don't have a back porch even kind of thing, but that, you know, for as funny as it might sound coming from someone with my complexion, sunshine, getting out and getting some sunshine is good. And if where you're able to, like just getting some fresh air and stuff like that, and even just setting little routines, like through this whole thing, I've still kept my alarm set to the same day, same day, same time. And I wake up
Get up on
every
Tuesday.
Wednesday. It's great. But no, at the same time every morning, like just these small bits of routine and stuff, and try to, you know, make sure that I don't let things fall into, I haven't shaved the whole pandemic. But
Yeah.
But yeah, get some fresh air and
Yeah.
just do the best you can, really.
Cool. What about you, Reed?
I have found I've never really liked FaceTiming with people. I've always felt like it was weirdly invasive, and I've avoided it. And that I have reversed position. Now I feel like the amount of neurological wiring we have that responds to facial expression and eye contact can't be minimized. We're designed to co-regulate through facial expression and eye contact. So
And
I would
social
just
creatures
recommend.
by nature.
Yeah, and like, you know, it's great to chat and it's great to talk on the phone, but if you're not feeling well emotionally, FaceTime with a safe person. You don't even have to talk about what's bugging you, but the eye contact and the facial expressions will regulate your nervous system for you. So I would just recommend anybody that's feeling really weird and shitty emotionally, FaceTime with a safe person. That's my 2 cents.
Nice. Oh, that was
Yeah.
worth 5 cents at least, brother.
I would even
For
give
real.
you 10 cents for one up Brock.
Yeah. And 2 bits.
Yeah.
Shave and a haircut? Wow, what a bargain.
I also have not shaved since this started, but it didn't necessarily start when this started.
Yeah. Neither did this. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, thank you so much. And thank you, Reed, for being my partner in magic in this with this crazy situation. And thank you, Busting Down the House and Blooming Footprint and Live for Live Music and Rocking Life, which is my thing that I got going on. And I'm just grateful that we get to do a little thing that's a little bit different and uplifting and to
Oh, this is to
like,
Reed's point. This has been a ton of fun, even though it still involves some busking and what have you. But like the different part of my brain that's engaged in having a multiple conversation kind of thing is really cannot be denied. I appreciate you, Reed. Much love to you, brother, and I'll
you too, man.
I'll see you around the way.
For sure. Thanks for coming.
Yes, I love you all so much, and I'm so grateful for this time with you all. And I'm glad, Reed, you said, I miss hanging out with my musician friends in green rooms. And then I was like, I got you.
Yes.
All right,
Hi, guys.
everybody. Bye,
All right.
everyone.
Thanks for being here.
Peace.
Peace.